Hi, my friends. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020, and it is time for our phonics and our read aloud. So let's begin with our phonics lesson. So today we are going to review the letter B sound. And what does B say? B, 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 B. So I have an uppercase B and I have a lowercase b here. So let's first review some objects that begin with B. I couldn't find my phonics cards of pictures that begin with B, so I had to illustrate my own. So here is my card and our B at the beginning, and then this would be the rest of our letters. So these images or these objects will be things that begin with B, where B is the first sound you say when you say the word. So my first illustration is a bat, bat, bat. And you can hear the B when you first say bat, bat. And my next illustration, ball or basketball, ball, ball, ball. And then I have a basket, basket, basket. Again, we're working on objects that begin with the letter B. B is the first sound we say when we say these names. And this is the color black, black, black. Next we have, I did my best to illustrate these. These are my boots, boots, boots. And we have a bee, good, bee, a little buzzy bee. And last I have my cute little bear, bear, bear. So all of these objects, they begin with the letter B. It's the first sound you say when you say these pictures. Bat, ball, basket, ball, bear, the color black, boots, and bee. B. Okay, now let's review some objects that end with the letter B. So here are my cards for the objects that end with the letter B. So you see here would be the first few letters, and then the B is at the end. It's the last sound we hear when we're saying that word. So we have a tub, tub. B is the last sound I say. Tub, tub. And we've been working on this shape in math. Cube, cube, cube. Next, this is a baby bear. Cub, cub, cub. And then a crib, crib, crib. And this is a globe, globe, globe. Again, these are all objects where B is the last sound you hear. And then a crab, crab, crab. And the last card, a web, web, web. So all of these objects have B as the last sound. It's the end sound that you say whenever you're saying these objects. Tub, cube, web, cub, crib, globe, and crab. And again, what does our letter B say? B, 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 b. All right, I'm going to take that down, and now we're going to move on to our blends that we've been working on this week. I hope you guys are doing awesome. All right, so we have been working on the blends FR. And do you remember what FR says? Fr, fr, fr. And I have some picture objects that begin with the FR sound. This is a frog, frog, frog. Good. And here is some fruit, fruit, fruit. You can hear the F and the R when we first say that word. Fruit, fruit. And this is a frame, frame, frame. And last, oh, I miss these so much. I haven't had them in a long time. How about some McDonald's fries, fries, fries. I cannot wait till this stay at home is done and Lucas and I can go to McDonald's and have some fresh fries. Fresh begins with FR too. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Okay, my friends, let's move on to the next blend we've been learning this week, which is DR. Dr, 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 dr. And here are some things that begin with DR, like dragonfly, dragonfly, dragonfly. And this is a drill, drill, drill. And drawer, drawer, drawer. Again, these are all objects that DR is at the beginning. It's the first sound you say when you're saying these words. Dress, dress, dress. And we have a drum, drum, drum. Two more. This water is dripping or drip, drip, drip. And the last one, what is that? That's a dragon. Yes, dragon, dragon. So again, for our next blend that we've been working on this week is DR, 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 dr. We have dragonfly, drill, dragon, drawer, dress, drum, and drip. Okay, now let's make some words with our new blends. So if you don't have it already, go ahead and pause the video and grab your paper and your pencil or your crayons, whatever you are using to write. I have my trusty dry erase board. And we're going to first write our DR blends. There we go. So on your paper, I'm going to grab my marker. Let me move this up. All right, on your paper, let's first write a D and an R. Dr, dr, dr. And then we're going to add a vowel. An A. Good. An A says ah, ah. So we have dr, ah, dr, ah, dr, ah, dra, dra. And let's add a consonant. The letter B. Go ahead and write your B. Drab, 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 drab. Yes, drab. That was our first word. All right, write your DR again. Dr, dr, dr. We're going to add our next vowel. An E. Yep. So we have dr, e, dr, e, dre, dre. And then let's add D. Dr, ed, dr, ed, dr, ed, dread, dread, dread. Yes, dread. Okay, I'm going to erase my words so that you can see our next ones. So go ahead and write your next DR, dr. And then let's add the vowel I. So we have dr, I, dr, I, dre, dre, dre. And then let's add the letter P. Yes. So we have dr, I, p, dr, I, p, dr, I, p, drip, drip, drip. Yes, just like our picture card. Drip, drip, drip. Okay. Go ahead and write your next DR. Dr, dr, dr. This time we're going to add the vowel O. Dr, ah. Dr, ah. So I have these underlined together because we're kind of saying the T, the D, and the R together. Dr. We're not stopping. Dr. We're saying them together. Dr, ah. Dr, ah. Dra. Dra. And add a G this time. So we have drag, 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 drag. Yes. How's your handwriting doing? Hopefully you're taking your time. Nice and slow is the way to go. All right, write your last DR, because we're down to our last vowel. Dr, dr, dr. How are you doing with saying that? Yes, good. All right, add a U. Dr, 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 dr. And now let's add an M. Drum, 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 drum. Yes, that was also one of our picture cards. Drum. Okay, I'm going to erase mine. Remember to send me a picture of your words so I can see how well you're doing. I'm going to take this down and put up our next blend that we've been learning about this week. Our F and our R, which says fr, fr. Go ahead and write your FR on your paper. Fr, fr, fr. We're going to put our first vowel, A. Go ahead and write your A. Fr, A. Fr, A. Fr, A. Fra. Fra. And then add the letter J. Frage, 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 frage. Yes. Okay, let me erase mine. And go ahead and write your next FR. Fr, fr, fr. And then add an E. Fr, e. Fr, e. Fre, fre, fre. Yes. And then add a T. Fret, 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 fret. You guys are doing awesome. As long as you know your letter sounds, you can put together any word you see and read it. That's how you learn to read, is by taking your letters and putting the sounds together. As you get older, your words will start to get longer, more letters, but the more you're practicing your reading, the better you will get. Go ahead and write your next FR. And now add an I. Fr, I. Fr, I. Fr, I. Fri. Fri. Good. And now let's add the letter V. V. Fr, I, V. Fr, I, V. Fri, V. Friv. Friv. Okay. 2 more. Write your next FR. This time add the O. So we have fr, ah, fr, ah, fra, fra, fra. And this time add an X. Yep, just like that. Fr, ah, x, fr, ah, x, frocks, frocks, frocks. Okay, last one. Go ahead and write your last FR. Fr. Add the vowel U. Fr, 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 fr. And then add Z. Okay, let's sound it out. Fr, z, fr, z, fr, z, fr, fruz, fruz. Fantastic. All right, we just finished practicing our new blends from this week, which were FR and DR. What does DR say? Dr, dr, dr. So we did our FR, fr, And we did our DR. Dra, dra, dra. Okay, now let's do our read aloud. Lucas picked up this read aloud for today. He had it on his bookshelf and thought that you guys would enjoy this book very much. And he also thought that it would go well with our drawing conclusions lesson that we've been learning about this week. So it is SpongeBob Squarepants, The Great Snail Race. Take a look at that front cover. Tell me if you can draw a conclusion about what is going on. What do you think is going to happen in this book? It's going to be a race. Okay. And look at Gary right there. How do you think Gary's going to do in this race? Does he look like he's going to do awesome? Does he look like he's going to win? No. He looks kind of sick, doesn't he? And sad and run down. But this snail over here, how does she look? Healthy? Yes. Ready to run? So let's figure out if we're right about Gary not feeling very well and not winning the race. Let's see if we drew the correct conclusion. Okay, so the Great Snail Race. Can you see that? Okay. It was a sunny morning in Bikini Bottom. A mailman knocked on Squidward's front door. "Ah," said Squidward. "I can't believe it's finally here." The mailman glanced at Squidward's signature. "Thank you, Mr. Tennis Balls." "That's tentacles," corrected Squidward. So take a look at that. So we can draw the conclusion that Squidward is feeling what by looking at his face? He's happy. He's pretty happy. He got his package and he is smiling. So Squidward's having a happy day. "Hey, check out Squidward's new snail," said Patrick. "Looks like Gary has a new playmate," said SpongeBob. Squidward rolled his eyes. "I wouldn't let Snelly here play with your mongrel mutt. See, Snelly even has her own pedigree papers. So if you excuse us, she has to start training for Bikini Bottom's snail race. She'll be winning this Sunday." "Well, I guess I can't enter Gary in that," said SpongeBob. "Sunday's laundry day." Squidward sighed. "You can't enter Gary because Gary isn't a purebred. But Snelly has papers," he said. He shoved his fancy document toward SpongeBob. Property of Squidward tent poles," Patrick read. "That's tentacles," corrected Squidward. So here we have Squidward showing his document or papers to Patrick and SpongeBob about his snail Snelly. "Patrick, are you thinking what I'm thinking?" asked SpongeBob. "Yeah," said Patrick. "I should get a snail and enter it in that race and beat Squidward." "No, no, no, no," shouted SpongeBob. "I'm thinking of entering Gary in that race and beating Squidward's snail." So here in SpongeBob's thoughts, he's imagining what? Looks like Gary winning that race, crossing the finish line. And that makes him what? Happy. Yeah. SpongeBob had a lot of work to do to whip Gary into shape. First, he made a nutritional smoothie for his snail. "Meow," said Gary. "Well, of course I expect you to eat this," said SpongeBob. "It's scientifically designed to help you win tomorrow." Gary took one look at the drink and slithered out of the room. So here we have SpongeBob making a nutritional smoothie for Gary, putting some stuff in there. It doesn't look very healthy It doesn't look like it tastes very good either. Look at the picture on this can. It looks like the picture or the image on there has some what? Has some pretty big muscles. So do you think this is supposed to help Gary get healthy and fit with some muscles? Probably. Does Gary look happy about this nutritional drink that he's going to have to drink? No, he doesn't. With these little illustration marks up here, he's like, ugh! And then he gets out of there. He slithers from the room. He's like, no, thank you. Patrick came over to show SpongeBob his new snail. Your snail is a rock, said SpongeBob. Yeah, I know, said Patrick proudly. He's got nerves of steel. See you at the race. SpongeBob realized the competition was getting fierce. So now Patrick's coming to the picture. He's going to race a rock. A rock, you guys? Do you think a rock is going to win the race? I guess we'll have to see. SpongeBob blew his whistle. Let's start with some sprints. On your mark, get set, go! Gary barely moved. Come on, Gary, shouted SpongeBob. You've got to start training if you're going to win. Just then, Squidward peeked in. Don't waste your breath, SpongeBob. That mongrel of yours doesn't have a chance, Squidward said confidently. All right, so here we have SpongeBob trying to train Gary. Poor Gary. Look at Gary. Does he look happy? No, he does not. Look, he even has a what hanging off of him? A web. Doesn't look like he's been moving at all, huh? All right, let's move on. All right, Gary, no more fooling around, instructed SpongeBob. Come on, move it, move it, move it. Up, up, up. Down, down, down. Faster, faster, faster. Go, 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 go. So you can see SpongeBob is training poor Gary. Does Gary look happy at all doing this training? No, he does not. He doesn't look like he's having fun. He doesn't look like he's enjoying it. Look at him punching a punching bag with his eyeball. Oh my goodness. The day of the race finally arrived. Well, SpongeBob, I didn't think your mongrel mutt would even find the starting line, snickered Squidward. Congratulations. Save it for the loser's circle, said SpongeBob. Gary happens to be in the best shape of his life. Gary coughed and wheezed. Oh man, poor little Gary. How's Gary looking? Does he look like he's ready to win this race? No, he doesn't. How about Snelly? How does she look? Pretty healthy and ready. And then here's Patrick back here with his what? Rock. Oh, Patrick. Silly Patrick. SpongeBob gave Gary his final pep talk. Listen up. You're the under-snail. Everybody's already counting you out. Now get out there and win. Meow, muttered Gary. Poor Gary. He looks so run down, doesn't he? On your mark. Get set. Slither! Shouted the referee. And they're off, said the announcer. Number 6 Snelly rockets out of the starting box, leaving the other 2 competitors in the dust. Go, Snelly! You got it, baby, cheered Squidward. SpongeBob was not having the same luck. Gary hadn't budged from the starting gate. What are you doing, Gary? Shouted SpongeBob. The race has started. Let's go. Start moving. You're blowing everything we trained for. Patrick's Snail was also at the starting line. "It's okay, Rocky," Patrick said. "You go when you feel like it." So here in this illustration, Snelly's like, pew! She's off and going. Gonna win that race, you think? And then you can see poor little Gary. His eye is flat on the ground. He's not moving. Do we think Gary's gonna win this race? We're gonna draw the conclusion that maybe not. Gary slowly began to move. He panted heavily as he trudged ahead. "Not good enough!" shouted his coach. "Faster!" The more SpongeBob yelled, the faster Gary tried to go. But it was no use. Gary was exhausted. "That coach is pushing that snail too hard," said the announcer. So here we have SpongeBob yelling. And Gary is not looking good. He's got a swollen eyeball. He's all wrinkly. You can see the sweat illustrations. Are we going to draw the conclusion that Gary's not feeling well? I agree. He is not feeling well at all. Suddenly, Gary's bloodshot eye popped like a tire. "It looks like number 7 has a blowout," said the announcer. Shortly after, Gary's other eye blew. Oh, poor Gary. He had a blowout like a tire. His little eye went. And then they said his other eye blew. "Make that 2, folks," said the announcer. Gary, you can't stop now," said SpongeBob. Gary began to spin out of control and headed straight for the wall. Bam! The crowd gasped. "No!" shouted SpongeBob. "Hold on, Gary, I'm coming." So Gary looks pretty out of sorts. His eyes have popped. He spun out of control. He ran into the wall. Poor little Gary. SpongeBob raced to Gary's side. "One of the coaches has raced onto the track. That is an automatic disqualification. Looks like number 6 has this race all wrapped up, ladies and gentlemen," said the announcer. Squidward cheered. "Come on, Snelly. It's all you. Come on, Snelly." "Oh, Gary," cried SpongeBob. "Why didn't you just say I was pushing you too hard?" "Meow," said Gary. "You did?" asked SpongeBob. "Oh, Gary, why didn't you tell me I wasn't listening?" "Meow," answered Gary. "You did? Oh, Gary," wailed SpongeBob. So here Gary's pretty beat down, not feeling good. Is SpongeBob happy? No, he is not. He's crying. He's so sad. He feels bad for how he pushed little Gary. And then here's Snelly. She's about to win the race. What do you think Snelly is about to do if we're drawing conclusions? Do we think that Snelly is going to finish the race and win? Or do you think Snelly's going to come back for her friend, Gary? Poor Gary. What do you guys think? Draw that conclusion. You think she's going to come back for Gary? Let's see. Suddenly, Squidward's prize snail stopped racing. She turned to look at Gary and then rushed to his side. The 2 snails looked into each other's eyes and purred. "My, oh my, folks," said the announcer. "I've never seen anything quite like it. It seems Snelly, the leader, just went back to comfort Gary." "Looks like you and me are in-laws, eh, Squidward?" said SpongeBob. So was our conclusion correct? Did little Snelly go back for Gary? Yeah, that's her friend. And look, there's some hearts. They're such good friends. And they love each other. That was a good friend of Snelly for her to go back to help her friend Gary, who wasn't feeling very well. Yeah. The crowd cheered as the winner crossed the finish line. But that's impossible, said Squidward. If Snelly didn't win, then who did? And the winner is, shouted the announcer, Rocky! The crowd went wild. Patrick started to laugh until he cried. Squidward moaned, My purebred, which cost me $700, lost to a rock. Oh, I guess our conclusion that we drew about Rocky was not correct. Rocky did end up winning the race. Oh my goodness. Patrick rushed to Squidward's side. Don't worry, Squidward. I know how much you wanted to win, so I had the trophy engraved to you. Squidward took the trophy in his tentacles. Gosh, Patrick, thanks. He looked at the plaque and read it out loud. The first place Snail Racing Cup presented to Squidward Tortellini. Patrick and SpongeBob happily put their arms around their friend. Will I ever win? Grumbled Squidward. So, Squidward's two little friends, Patrick and SpongeBob, they knew he would be upset. And Patrick ended up putting Squidward's name on the trophy anyways. Squidward Tortellini. That's not the right name. What is Squidward's name? Squidward Tentacles. Yes. All right, that was awesome. I think Lucas picked out a great book to go with our lesson this week of drawing conclusions. And any SpongeBob book is pretty entertaining. I like SpongeBob. What about you guys? Yeah? Yes, me too. All right, my darlings, that is the end of our lesson for today, our phonics and our read aloud lesson. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I do want to send out a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out to Anthony, my girls Sophia, Emma, and Valerie. I miss everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.